So in the previous tutorial, we had worked on Jupyter notebooks with respect to NumPy, right? So I have forgot to name this. So you can just click open over here. You can just open this, and the title will be saved somewhere over here. So you can just name this as NumPy. Okay, so this is with respect to NumPy. You can just rename it, and it will be saved. Okay, you can just see it has been renamed. Now let us create a new more file, and let us name this as MatPlotLib. Okay, so we'll be working on MatPlotLib. So again, as I was telling, we can use it is already been imported, like it is already been pre-installed. So here we'll be importing PyPlot. Okay, so we'll be working only on PyPlot. So for the two-dimensional array using, so for that we'll be importing PyPlot. So you can do it in multiple ways. So like one is MatPlotLib. Under that we need PyPlot. Okay, but most common way how we will be doing is we are gonna do as from matplotlib import pyplot as, again here we can give another name, so you most commonly we can use it as plt. Okay, so maybe I can just give a comment over here, so you can have executed it. Okay, that is fine. I just wanted to give a comment, so import library. Okay, so that is pyplot. So now let us try to just print out a line bar or something. Okay, so I'll be using plot plt. Now we shall plot by using function plot, so a simple line graph plot. So again, two-dimensional array, so I'll just mark it as 1 2 3. A linear graph would be sufficient, so I just need to open another square bracket to make it 2D. 1 2 3. Okay, so this is how x and y values are varying, and we are getting 1 2 3, so a linear graph. Okay, so if you just execute this, so it is coming like this 1 2 3. Okay, but here instead of executing like this, you can just give like if you ever want to see which plot it is, so plot show. So this is another way to see, but it is already visualized over here, so that's why it has been like here it has been visualizing. So it is varying from 0 1 2 3. Okay, so again this is with respect to plot, so maybe I'll just cut this and put it here. Okay, so let me run that. So here like as I was telling, I need a previous graph, so here it is like a sorry, here I have given a matrix type, so extra square brackets is not required because I need to pass in the values of x and pass in the values of y. Okay, so let me just run that. So here is the ultimate the actual linear graph. So at value 1 it is showing us 1, at value 2 it is 2, and 3 is 3. So x comma y, so again you can see documentation of pyplot. So here it is x and y, so basically again the scaling and all is true, so it will automatically do, and also you can do data, and also there are other parameters. So to know about covworks, you need to just check with respect to previous class which are instantiated. So little advanced topic, which again here we'll be just ignoring for our projects. So that is a basic way how you can plot. So again you can see here examples, you have x1 y1, and you can give the name po go. Okay, so you can give all kind of namings for that, and also you can give labels. So maybe we'll plot with respect to values now. So maybe I'll give x is equal to maybe different numbers, will shall give 6 2 and 9. Okay, and y will be equal to again different values you can do. And with respect to coding, there is something known as Pepite style. So I always try to follow the Pepite, a little customized one, but not exactly the same one. So again this plot also I think I'll give something like in between only. Okay, so maybe 6, then I'll give a lower one 2, and the middle one I'll try to like match it, so maybe something like 10, higher one, and finally something like 3. Okay, Pepite usually tells you to have spaces after comma, and also have spaces between the operators. Okay, so something like that. You just check pep 8 python standard. So this is the format coding style. So I recommend everyone to going through this so that you will have a proper formatting, and most probably others won't have any kind of issues. And with respect to indentation, tabs and spaces, I had already mentioned you should never mix tabs with spaces. The best way used to use with spaces rather than tabs. And if you are convenient using tabs, definitely go ahead with tabs, but be careful when you're like transmitting code or porting your code to somewhere else, or using in different text editors. Okay, so this is pep8, so you will get all the information over here. So have a proper coding format, so it will help you to understand better later also, and also for others. Okay, so you can just create this and we can just directly plot plt plot x and y. Okay, similar to how we had done before. Let me just execute it. So here it has been executed. So we have a graph something like this. So it is starting at 10. Okay, so x-axis 10 is the maximum value, and it is going up to 2 and 3. So when exactly it is 2? So it is 2 when it is, sorry, it is 2 when it is 6. Okay, when x value is 6. Okay, and when it comes to 3, so 3 value is 9. Okay, so that is what they are given, and when it is 2, it is 10. So that is what we have graphed. And here also we can give, as I was telling you, you can give titles, you can give x label, you can give y label. So let us do that. So here it is like shell based, right? So that's why it is visibly, right? So if you just print out x value, it is showing over here, but in text editor it doesn't show. For that only we need to use plot show. So always try to use this. Also plot title. Okay, so our title will be like basic, we will call it as line graph. Okay, and you can give x-axis and y-axis as plot dot x label and y label. X label. So here we can just let me spell label correctly. So here you can give again a string. I'll just call it as x-axis. Similarly, we can do y label. Okay, so let me just quickly execute that. So here you can see it is like titled as line graph, and here y label, here is x label. So that can also be done. And here it is not limited to this. You can also change with respect to plot over here how exactly these values need to be changed and all. So now I think we'll go ahead and again we need not to be lists only. So here we are passing lists. So you can use tuple also. Even tuple will do. And also with respect to size, you can define the dimensions with size you need with respect to using a figure and fixed size. Okay, so I'll just skip that one and go to subplot. So basically I want like a kind of two plots. Okay, so let me just plot one as plot, maybe we'll take x comma y itself. Okay, and I think y comma x would be the other one. I think that would help. Okay, but here I need to declare as subplot. Okay, so basically plot dot subplot. Now here I have to declare the format. Okay, so the format is something like number of rows, number of columns, and finally index. Okay, so indexing 1 2 3. So I think I will have only one row, two columns, and indexing will be 1. Okay, so now I should tell which exactly this plot is in. Okay, so for that only I'm using 1 to 1. So here it is like indexing the first plot. Okay, so it is automatically taking that. If I don't mention this, only one graph will be plotted. So that's why now it is mentioned as out of two columns I'm using the first index. So I will be plotting on one more for reverse direction. So here I can give plot title. So this is unique for the first this one itself. So I'll give it as maybe first. Okay, I have to declare a string first subplot. Similarly, I'll just copy the same. So I'm not using I am sure executing this right now. So I will do together. So basically I'll give this as true. Those are indexing as second number, and here the second and I don't want it to be same graph, I'll just interchange with x and y. So this will be y and this will be x. Okay, and finally don't forget show. So plot dot show, let us execute that. So you can see it is like coming under the same image. So if I'm dragging, it is like showing the image, right? So it doesn't if you don't use this subplot telling indexing it, again you can have it in reverse way. So maybe I can have 2 rows 2 columns, okay, and index 1 and 2. Let us see what happens. So basically it is coming something like this. So basically it is taking first row first column, again bottom there is one more. So it is like the size is strinked. Okay, so if I want it in one below the other, so just one column, sorry, yeah, one column. So you can see here overlapping and all is happening. So you need to make sure of the size. So the function which you can use for size is plot dot figure. Okay, so under that you can just determine your figure size. So you can just expand that also. So that is about plotting with respect to adding plot also. And again you can actually add a plot inside a plot. So again using the figure function. Okay, so I'll just leave that. So we had seen this. I think we'll see with respect to bar graph. Okay, so instead of using this plot function, if at all we use bar graph, it will work. So I'll just take this itself and make this as bar. Again documentation, shift tab, you can see here height x, and if you want to give height value, y value and all. Okay, so those can be done. So y value will be nothing but your height, right? So x values is x-axis, y is height. Okay, so that is what is been mentioned here. Okay, so let us just execute this. So here you can see at value 2 it is 10, at value 6. So here you might need to have a proper way. So maybe we'll give something like graph like 1 2, maybe we'll have a normal instead of having linear. So maybe 1 again, 0 0 3 4 35. Okay, if you give a big number, it will be like going to be, the graph would be, all the values will be stringed. Okay, so maybe something like 5. Okay, so let us execute this. Okay, so here basically I need to add axis with respect to plots. So that's how we need to do with respect to this x-axis and y-axis. So here I have mentioned only with respect to our x-axis. Okay. So x-axis maybe how many I have, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, so I can have that. So this is my x-axis and this is the value of my y-axis. That is nothing but y height. So that is what is here. So x-axis followed by height. So let us execute now. So here you can see it is like 1 2 6, somewhere like 1 0 0, again 2 9, and again 5. Okay, so this is with respect to bar graph. So again if you want to have continuations, okay, so then you can give get histogram. So instead you can just use hist. Okay, so here again there should be a different format. So with respect to histograms, again you can use figure this one, because you need to define with respect to formats and all, and also you need to give something known as bins. Okay, so again, if to understand that, you can just check documentation. So by default bits is nothing, and the other things is this one. So maybe I'll just delete this one because it will be giving a ladder type. So I'll remove that and execute. So here you can see it is like kind of different discontinuation because of zeros. Okay, maybe we'll have the ladder type itself, which will make more sense with respect to Instagram, because this histogram is showing like kind of a bar graph. Okay, so here also it is taking 1 2 3. So basically it is like showing up average, so it is going 1 to 9. Okay, so you can go ahead and play around over here with respect to histograms, and also then we have scatter plots. So you can scatter plots all the way, like where and all you need. So those can be done with respect to scatter plots. And also I was experimenting earlier with respect to few of the plots. Maybe I can just fetch that. So Here I'm using numpy also, so I'll just get that. So basically I have created a function for cosine and sine and cosine, so trigonometric functions. So here you can see this is my sine wave and this is my cosine wave. Okay, and here I'm using dotted, so that is what I'm giving over here, dotted lines. Okay, and with respect to color also you can vary. So again, names, cosine, sine. Okay, again this is legend, so here it have given legend, so the location of the legends, setting title. Okay, you can use set title or just title. Here I have declared ax. Okay, so ax is nothing but axis. Okay, so whenever I'm calling ax, I'm doing that, and axis 1, axis 2, so that is how it has been declared, and values are like going with respect to this. Okay, so again, this is something which I was interested to check a look. And also with respect to histograms and using some kind of tool for 3D, we can actually show a 3D image. So I'm interested to show this. So I think it will interest you also, but we won't be working in our projects, but still it is a very good one. So it is something like mpl underscore tools, toolkits, not tools, toolkits. So I think it is not imported in mine. So let us just try to import. If it is not working, maybe we'll just skip ahead, I guess. Okay, it is available. So we'll just make a fig. So from that time I'm telling use a figure, right? So we'll just use that now. So figure, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. So similar to how we did here axis. So let us create a plot axis. So I'll call it as ax itself. We'll just do the reconfiguration or rewrite the variable. So we'll add a subplot. Okay, so again this add subplot will come under figure. Okay, so set title and all will come under the function of here we are using axis, yeah, under axis. Okay, so something like that. So again methods will change. So for pyplot which we had used, it will be like x label, y label. Okay, so those things. So again refer documentation to understand better, but we will be using pyplot only in the projects and all. So here what we will be doing is we need to give projection. So let me just check the documentation. Okay, I'm not getting documentation. So let us just execute this. Maybe after that we might get. Okay, so I want to give it as 3D. Okay, so this is the primitive. So this is what I wanted to show, but for some reason it's not coming. Now here randomly we'll draw axis. So let me just take x, y, z. So since it is 3 dimensions, we need 3 axes. And here I need to define arrays. Okay, so maybe I'll have a linear first, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, maybe we'll have 10 values, 10. Okay, and next we'll have different. Also this is going to x. Okay, so in Python you can just directly define multiple arguments in this way. For y we can define in a different way, maybe a funky way, like 5 3 4, no, not 66, we'll have 6, maybe 11 will go. So if at all we are giving higher values, it will be stringed. So how many is done? 1 2 2 3 4 5 6 7 10. Yeah, we have 10 values. Now we'll just plot it. So axc plot x y comma y z. Okay, so let us do plot show. Let us execute this. So here you can see a funky little 3D image. Okay, so I think this was yeah, it is actually getting this 3D projection from here. Okay, so this is present in this axis 3D, so that is why we are importing this. So you can see this funky little. So if you want, you can have a linear image also. Let me just copy this and make 1 2 3 4 only for 3 dimensions also. Sorry, I mean 1 to 10, a linear graph in a 3-dimensional view. Okay, so here you can see it is like increasing. So this is my 0 0, 0 0 0 and it is increasing till 10 10. Okay, so that is how it has been represented with respect to three-dimensional. So I think this is very interesting, which I suggest everyone to just go and explore how exactly it works. But mostly we'll be working on such kind of graphs in our projects, so not probably even histograms. uh, we'll be working on scatter plots. Okay, so you will have values all over. Okay, so maybe I can create a scatter plot for this. uh, Maybe we'll just see a small scatter plot. So I'll give xyz as this itself, so randomly distributed, and here I'll use maybe fig underscore 1, so we'll create a figure itself. So plot dot figure, and then we'll be giving axis. Okay, so yeah, axis maybe, okay, maybe underscore 1. For axis we'll give fig dot add axis. Okay, so here we need to pass in like left, right, bottom and up. So I'll tell maybe 0 0 0 0 0 1 1. Okay, you can see the documentation. So axis, basically you need to send parameters. So the parameters which you need to send is with respect to the dimension. So left, bottom, width and height. Okay, so left, bottom, width and height. So that is what we are passing it over here. And then you can add different kind of colors and also everything. So I'll just skip ahead and just do plot show. Okay, so here it is not plotting. Okay, I'm missing with respect to scatter itself. So I'm not added the function itself, right? Scatter. So I want to scatter with respect to x, and maybe with respect to y, and maybe I can give a color also. So this is the attribute with respect to color, so you can give red. Just R also should work. Okay, this is x-axis, maybe y-axis we will give. ZY. We'll make this as blue. Okay, I'm missing something, that's why it is not plotting it over here. Plot show is available. We'll have x and y, x over here, and we'll have yz. Okay, I have not used this underscore 1. Okay, that is the mistake. So here it is, here the graph is created, but it is showing only in the range of 0 and 1. Okay, I should do 10. Okay, that is the height and width, my bad. So checking the format again. So basically I should have like okay, the range is varying with respect to 10, right? So it should work with respect to 0 0 1 1. The left and bottom should be 0 0, but then height being like this is with respect to this dimensions. It is showing only values till 1. It is incrementing with 0.5, no sorry, 0.1 or 0.2 is been showed over here. Yes, I'm definitely missing something over here. So yes, the naming is the issue. Okay, so I was trying to plot something else. Okay, so this dimension, this axis was defined earlier over here. Okay, so again it was defined here, this height and all. Okay, so here you can see a scatter plot. So randomly we have done. So what we have taken is y-axis width as our x. Okay, and then we have given the random values to be generating. Okay, so this is like randomly test scattered. So we'll get a pattern on data science and all. So that and all we'll be seeing in the next video.